The Price family had one simple goal that Saturday morning: arrive at the theme park early, stay together, take cute pictures, and leave with happy memories by 8:03 a.m. That plan was already wearing one shoe and crying in the driveway. Dad had packed snacks like he was preparing for winter. Mom had packed sunscreen, wipes, backup outfits, and the kind of patience only moms are issued at birth. And the 5 little kids had packed nothing useful, unless you count 1 plastic dinosaur, 3 sticky lollipops, and a toy whistle nobody remembered buying. When they finally pulled into the theme park parking lot, Dad stood proudly beside the van and said, "Family meeting. Rule number 1. We stay together." The children nodded with the serious faces of tiny executives. Then the youngest pointed at a giant spinning ride and yelled, "Cookie wheel!" It was not called the cookie wheel. It was not shaped like a cookie. But from then on, the whole family called it the cookie wheel. Inside the park, everything sparkled. Music bounced through the air. Popcorn smelled like happiness. Mascots waved. Balloons floated. Dad unfolded a map the size of a bedsheet, turned it upside down, and said, "I know exactly where we are." Mom looked over his shoulder. That is the parking lot. The first ride was a gentle boat ride through a jungle of fake monkeys. It was supposed to be relaxing, but one child screamed every time a monkey blinked, another tried to feed it crackers, and the twins argued over whether the water was soup. After that came the teacups. Dad made one tragic mistake. He said, "I can handle spinning." The children heard this as a challenge. They spun that teacup so fast, Dad's cheeks moved into next Tuesday. When the ride stopped, he stepped out, saluted a trash can, and said, "Thank you for your service." Mom laughed so hard, she had to sit down. By lunchtime, the family had survived 3 rides, 2 bathroom emergencies, 1 dropped pretzel, and a debate over whether cotton candy counts as a vegetable because it is fluffy like cauliflower. Then came the big adventure. Mom took the older 2 kids to get lemonade. Dad stayed with the younger 3 near a fountain shaped like a smiling dragon. For exactly 12 seconds, everything was peaceful. Then, the dragon fountain sneezed water. The kids shrieked. Dad blinked water from his eyes. A marching band passed by. A bubble cart rolled through. A man with a giant turkey leg blocked the view. And suddenly, the younger 3 were gone. Dad froze. He looked left. He looked right. He looked under the map, as if children might hide in paper. Mom returned with lemonade and saw his face. "Where are the little ones?" she asked. Dad pointed at the fountain. "They were right there." Then the dragon sneezed, the band marched, the bubbles bubbled, and a turkey leg man happened. Mom took a slow breath. Not an angry breath, a superhero breath. They found a park helper right away. The helper smiled kindly and said, "Don't worry, we'll help you find them." Meanwhile, the 3 lost children were not scared at all. They believed they were on a mission. They had followed a trail of bubbles to a snack stand, then to a performer juggling rubber chickens, then to a tiny train station. The youngest announced, "We are explorers." The middle one said, "We need supplies." The other held up a napkin. "I found a map." It was a ketchup-stained menu. Together, they marched toward what they thought was the castle. It was actually a restroom building with flags on top. Back with Mom and Dad, the search became the strangest parade in the park. The older kids called their siblings names. Dad accidentally asked a statue if it had seen them. Mom spotted one tiny shoe print in spilled ice cream and said, "That is definitely ours." Finally, near the mini train, they heard a familiar voice. "Make way! Important explorers coming through." There they were, 3 little adventurers, sticky, proud, and wearing paper conductor hats. One had a rubber chicken, one had a balloon tied to their wrist. The youngest had somehow acquired a sticker that said, "Best Listener," which everyone agreed was ironic. Mom ran to them and hugged them so tightly the rubber chicken squeaked. Dad knelt down, trying to look serious, even though he was still dizzy from the teacups. "We were worried," he said. "When we say, 'stay together,' it's not because we want to ruin the fun. It's because you are the fun." The children got quiet.